Okay, I sent the ping. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah, give him some time.
That's the noise the ping makes. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay. Next go.
Hey, what's up?
You see that list I posted? The list I posted on ships and loadouts.
What is it?
It's a list of all the ships with at least one size 4 weapon.
And where is that?
Ships and loadouts. In Discord?
Oh, okay.
So, so what do you think?
Let's
Straight
see.
off the bat. Like, if I was to limit myself to only these ships, I mean, would any of them work?
I think
don't know.
I think they're great. For a lot of different reasons. Some of them are not so much. This list is a bit incomplete though. There's a lot more ships that can hold size 4s.
Oh?
Yeah.
These are all flight ready ships.
Yeah, it's fine. There are a lot of other ships that can hold size 4s.
Really?
Yeah, for example, a lot of these ships have they start at like the base weapon loadout, which is like one size lower. So you, for example, the Avenger Warlock, it has a size 4 from what you're saying. I don't remember exactly, but all the Avengers can hold a size 4. The nose cannon, you can swap that size 3.
4?
Yes, every single
because
Avenger.
it's a size 3 gimbal, right?
Yes, they can all hold. And you also have to think about the company that makes certain ships. Depending on the company, they are naturally better at certain things, right? Like RSI isn't necessarily the best luxury ship. It's not known for luxury or speed or all that stuff. But then you go around as the basic average ship from Origin, and you're expected to make your head turn. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that. So for Aegis, they're military strictly, basically.
Yeah.
And so you expect to go. So even their basic ship, their entry level ship, is a killer. And so there you have it. You have a size 4 gun right up that nose.
In the lore, the Titan was a military ship that was decommissioned.
Yes, it was it was decommissioned to being the interceptor of the lore, etc., like the police, etc. And the M50 took over that job as the interceptor of the. And and if you look at the updated lore, they said how the M50 is going to be used by the UE military, etc. But even way back then, the M50 interceptor was the one that replaces the Titan as the policed variant, or say, for protecting. So that's why you use it, and that's why I'm very confident that's going to at least have size 3s, because again, 300 series, they all have size 3s. Merlin, we're dealing with at least 2 size 2s there. And then it makes sense. 2 size 2s and something you want to be used as an interceptor is not going to cut it. We're talking bad about size 2s. So if you want to be an interceptor, you need to be a threat at the very least, so that people will be like, should I just ignore that person and go on my business? Because if you just do that, then you should be worried that there should be some consequences for just ignoring. It's either you engage the interceptor, or you don't engage it and worry about the issues later. So right now, there's no precaution. It's like you see an M50 flying around, M50 interceptor, whatever, doesn't matter. You just laugh at it, basically. So that's why I'm pissed, and that's why I do the work I do. So yeah, so that's the role of the M50. It's the military uses it for their police and it replaces the Avenger, the standard Avengers line. So will be the Interdictor and the Interceptor, Warlock and the Stalker versions, and they just replace it for that. The Interceptor, they replace it. Obviously, they want to make the other ships useful, so the M50 is not going to be able to bring obviously like human cells and stuff like that, nor is it going to pop an EMP, but just the raw speed and the ability to get behind an enemy and to completely disable them is going to be much more effective in something like this. Does that make sense? So that's why. So again, this thing's a beast. In the past, the weapons didn't make sense because it's like it's too OP. But right now, we're gonna be able to balance ship out to make them actually worth it. And if they're going to make it where it's actually viable against, where it's pretty popular among outlaw groups or mercenaries, that uses to get in a fight without armor, but for speed, then size 2s is really not gonna cut it. You're not gonna be popular among outlaws with just size 2s. You're gonna need at least 2 size 3s, because obviously that's what the outlaw is going to use it for guns, the firepower of it. It's not going to be the running away, hey, I got you, tag, you're it. That's silly. And it's not going to be for the cargo section underneath the belly, right? It's going to be for those guns. So if it's going to be popular, it's going to need to have at least 2 size 3s. And the missiles, they're definitely going to be at least 4 size 1 missiles. And that's why you have this. All these years, it's always been named the M50 Interceptor. It never lost that role. It never lost that name. So yeah, this is the M50 Interceptor. This thing's coming out. Hey, remember, with supercharged engines, remember what it says? Featuring supercharged engines. Well, now we really know why supercharged engines, because it has 2 power plants. Those engines are truly supercharged. Like the engines, the thrusters on this ship aren't exactly impressive, but Origin, again, they make very light things. It's like Apple. You put a lot of things that are very high tech into the smallest package as possible, and trying to cram as little space out as much as possible, make it as light as possible, and so you have the M50. So that's why it can be so small, so tiny, and still hold so many components, much more than like an Arrow or etc. Because they essentially cram everything inside of there, and they try to fit it with